It's just an adrenaline rush.
Sense of freedom, I guess.
It's just a big adrenaline rush.
We're teenagers. Let's face it, taking risks, pushing the envelope, it's just what we do. It's in our nature. Some of us just have the burning desire for adrenaline, that need for a high, a rush.
I'm a risk taker, man.
And some of us may be a little more conservative in taking chances.
I'll take risks that I know that I can handle, but if it's something that I don't know what the outcome could be, it's too much.
But hey, the truth is, in some way or another, we all take risks. Now for your big-time risk takers, it's all about your choices. Some kids get their rush from speeding, taking drugs, and breaking the law, while others may choose to get their rush from something like mountain climbing, or skating, even skydiving.
I love the rush. I love the freedom.
Chuck Whiteside. Here's an adrenaline junkie who gets his fix from jumping out of airplanes. Ed Drury takes his chances behind the wheel. He's earned himself a pile of traffic tickets.
Speeding, right here. $281.25. There we go.
So far, Ed's been lucky. He's still alive. But a lot of kids aren't so lucky. They gamble with their lives, and they lose. On the couch, Aaron, Hampton, Danielle, Trey, Michelle. And what kind of chances are they willing to take?
I think I'm a risk taker.
I definitely
I'm hardcore. I'll wear stripes and plaids. It's the 25th anniversary, I believe it is. Mustang 95, got a 5.0 in it. It's the last year they made it.
It may be Ed Drury's car, but when he goes anywhere, his friend James takes the wheel.
Driving, well, very suspended at the moment. Suspended for 6 months. I was going like 100 miles an hour down 75, got pulled over, arrested, spent the night in jail, got out on bond, went to court, paid a $700 fine, and lost my license.
Ed estimates he's had at least 12 tickets in 2.5 years.
This one says failure to maintain lane. Speeding, right here, $281.25. There we go. Failure to maintain lane again. This is like one of those. I think I'm on a term, but I'm not. Let's see, violation class D. If I could remember what that meant, I've probably spent, oh God, $2,000, $3,000 on tickets. Probably. Let's say speeding. Gosh.
How much over?
I have no clue. Anyway, it was a lot over. Knowing me, it was a lot over.
The way I drive compared to Ed, he might as well be Jeff Gordon, and I'm the old lady, driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, when I was first driving, I was slow. I was just glad to be out on my own and driving. The speed didn't really matter at all. It's just cruising, going slow, and letting people see that you're in the car. And I guess when I got around 17, the age of 17, I had friends that were off far as distances from me. We were like, hey, let's cut this time in half, let's speed up a little bit, let's get there sooner. And I would do that on the highways, but then it became a habit. Let's see, my first accident was in a Jeep Cherokee.
Ed says he's been involved in around a half-dozen accidents. So far, no serious injuries.
And I was following too closely, and I hit this woman in front of me. Everything was okay there. And then again in the same place, same wet road, hit somebody again. I was going to change the lane and kind of bumped a little car. And there's been a couple more. It's bad I can't remember, but I can't remember all of them. I'm lucky so far, nobody's gotten hurt or anything.
Well, I worry because I'm afraid that my buddy Ed might run out of chances.
It's taken a long time to get that sense of vulnerability. Hey, something can happen to me. Hey, this can happen again. I'm not invincible.
And I'm just hoping that he changes his habits a little bit before something bad happens.
Out on a Friday night, a stretch of road popular with teenage drivers.
Typical Friday night, you always see drag racing. There's always a lot of speeding. There's always a lot of my car is better than your car, or oh, we'll jump the gun here, or we'll run this red light here. That's normal out here on Barry. There's really nothing you can tell them. You can show them video after video after video. You can tell them all the facts whenever. You can even speak from experience. But the main thing is, experience is just gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to hit you hard. It didn't hit me, I didn't listen to anybody, and the only way I learned was through experience. How much will I think about me injuring someone else on the road when I start driving again? It'll be on my mind more so now, like a whole lot more now, than it would be if I never would have lost my license. Like I said, it gives me a lot of time to think. 6 months is an awful long time not to drive. And if I lose my license one more time, I don't think I'm gonna be getting them back. So I think I'm gonna be a little safer.
Some people just have no common sense.
My best friend, he has this he got this like brand new Mustang from his dad. He goes off and he drag races all the time, and he's gotten like tons of speeding tickets and everything. And like I've been in the car with him before, and like I don't let I get really angry when he drives that fast when I'm in the car with him or whatever.
And I think it makes the problem worse that every time they wreck one car, the parents buy them a new one.
I mean, I speed sometimes, but you
well,
know. People do stupid things all the time. You don't think about it until after you're done doing the stupid thing, and you think back and go, hey, that wasn't the brightest thing in the world for me to do.
Well, it's not like teenagers never do anything stupid, right? I mean,
exactly. Teenagers are notorious for doing stupid things.
that's what we do.
You don't think of the consequences. I've been put over like 4 or 5 times, and I never got tickets until Sunday.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just trying to push the limits to see how fast your car can go, and sometimes people can't control it.
You don't realize what you're doing, you know? Because I mean, you know that like it could kill you, you know it could kill somebody else, but you're just like, I just want to get there.
You take risks to find out what you can do, and
Your limits.
anything, to find your limits. That's why you take a risk, to find where your limits are, and like we said, there's anything you can do. I mean, like, it doesn't stop at speeding. It could be, I don't know.
Some people have a nature to take lots of risks. Like a friend of mine, I swear he's the dumbest person alive. The kid is just he's gonna kill himself one day. I mean, he does every drug imaginable. He's got a brand new Eclipse. He drives 140 on roads, and he drinks all the time. I mean, the guy is just he's just setting himself up for a huge fault.
I love the rush.
He gets obviously a rush.
I'm ready to fly, baby. I think they think I'm a little off sometimes.
I think he's crazy.
I like to do anything exciting.
Chuck Whiteside likes to take risks.
As long as I can calculate the risk, yeah, I do like to push my limits.
At 13, he had an idea.
But I wanted to, get away from the ground, get off the ground, and do something different. And so I started taking flying lessons. This was exactly the same model plane that I was flying, Cessna 182. There was so much to worry about, so many buttons and knobs and gauges. I always had to worry about oil pressure, fuel level, where switches were. So I learned very young to always check things, and I think a lot of that helped me become a careful person. And we used to have to do a pre-flight inspection and go through the entire plane, checking the flaps, making sure everything was right, making sure there weren't any dents or anything. And I just found myself looking outside a lot and you know, wishing that there was some way to get more freedom. I felt trapped in the cockpit. I wanted to get out of the plane. So I think that's when I started bungee jumping. And the first time I did that was really the first time I kind of had my first taste of real adrenaline. And from then on, I really couldn't get enough of it. And other than bungee jumping, there really wasn't anything else I could do. I went to, you know, a theme park on a roller coaster and, you know, tried to get the adrenaline rush. It just didn't do it.
Chuck needed a new thrill.
I found out about this indoor skydiving thing, and it's like a vertical wind tunnel. And you go in, there's instructors in there, and they help you. And they crank up that fan, and it just blows your body so that you're hovering above the ground. And that was one aspect of skydiving that I was really interested in, was that whole weightlessness feeling.
Indoor skydiving gave Chuck the practice and the confidence to give the real thing a shot.
I knew there was something else that I needed in my life, something that I was missing.
Chuck finally gets to fulfill his dream when we come back. After flying airplanes, bungee jumping, and riding the wind, Chuck Whiteside decided that skydiving, the real thing this time, was the next step to satisfying his need for adrenaline. Chuck headed for the drop zone.
Psyched, I'm going crazy.
First, he jumped with an instructor.
It's just so much more exciting. It's just on another level.
Then, Chuck took a class so he could jump alone.
And a lot of people don't understand how much effort's involved to be careful and to be safe, because we're not just getting out there strapping something to our backs and jumping. For me, that's very important, to be knowledgeable about something, especially something that's dangerous, because I don't like to not be in control.
Chuck says before every jump, he checks out the conditions, and he always has a plan.
Make your right turn, so use this as your area for descending and playground.
I think the plane ride up is really the only time that I'm ever nervous. And some of my instructors have told me that they won't fly with anyone who's not nervous, because that means that they're, you know, psychotic.
Ready to go.
Favorite moment is definitely free fall. Just the wind rushing past my face, screaming to the earth at 120 miles per hour. Just exhilarating, because, you know, there's so much you can do with your body. You'll ask a skydiver and they'll never use the word falling. They'll always say flying. And you feel weightless. The rush of the wind past your body is so calming and relaxing, but so exciting at the same time. You just see clouds below you, kind of the patchwork earth below you. Even during playing up there, you know, I'm always checking my altimeter, making sure I'm not getting too low. 1 minute I'm falling 120 miles per hour. Next minute I'm just sitting under a canopy, peacefully floating to earth.
Chuck's 11th jump started out perfect, he says, just like all of his other jumps. First, he prepared.
Take a look at your reserve pin. Make sure there's nothing caught. Yeah. The hub's clean, the pin's good. You're good to go.
All right.
We can make this happen.
Excellent.
But on this jump, something different was going to happen.
I went and pulled my ripcord, and nothing came out. And I looked behind me to see if my parachute was deploying, and it wasn't. And I checked my altitude, and I was at 3,500, which gives me roughly 15 seconds before I hit the ground. I remember feeling scared. I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I only have 15 seconds to live before I hit the ground. But at the same time, my body was working, and another part of my brain was working, doing the